This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Lily Black, Bob CC, Mictor Robentau, Edwin, Anathos Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Celestau Nautrell, Lazy Boy, A Wild Sarah, Luke Osborne, Pandalu Stormarrow, Tex, Kylin, Arthur Law, Beridan Derard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Noy Fafnir, Celine DeLune, Webster Wolf, Severa, Sir Cabarakil, AJ Brainswordson, Kazran, Ventos Tia, Edward Allond, Nat Clay, Gregorium, Cafe, Ryark Forbear, and Pizza Pockets. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aurasians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 353. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Male of Anadar, and Rolodes. Hello. It is June 3rd, 2023, and we will today be continuing our spoiler cast by talking about Pandemonium.
Yeah,
Pandemonium. That's our main focus today. So that's what we're going to do. We're also going to talk about some other things like the job changes that we mentioned last week, I think. There will be a part 3 to the spoiler cast, which will be next week when we talk about Tatara's Great Endeavor, Island Sanctuary,
Frontlines,
all the stuff that's left. That will be in that episode. Mind you, there will not be Mogmail today, but there probably will be next week because it's not what remains is not that big, so we're going to read Mogmail next week. Stay tuned if you're watching live for the post show. We'll be reading questions from the Syndicate, and of course, as usual, speakersxv.com/mods because we're looking for mods still. Okay,
check it out.
Also send us Mogmail, speakersxv.com/mogmail. Yes, that's all. All right, let's jump into recent events. Right, well, first, congratulations are in place for Neverland, world first, clearing P12S.
EU.
They are EU. So that's good. Second place is Ether, Group 3, North America, and third is Grind, JP.
And the favorite, Group 3.
Who we've never heard of before.
No.
Grind is new.
Grind, new on the scene. Congratulations to all three, of course. And Team DN is the first stream team to clear P12S. So,
props to you for streaming it, not hiding it all.
Chat, you say no raid drama. You should say no raid drama yet.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Always
the
just opportunity.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be interesting to see if they confirm. They probably won't. The devs.
Yoshi P's never going to do the thing again, I don't think.
I think he is done.
He's been burnt too much.
Yeah. So
I mean, he's done it. He did it for all of the Pandemoniums this expansion, but he didn't do it for either of the Ultimates.
No.
So it's possible that he might still do it for this. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. It's just like after last time, it did sound like
I understand.
Didn't want to step in that again, but we'll see. Congratulations, anyways. How did this rank? Do we know on length before?
I don't know the length for this one in comparison to others.
Because this,
I
know that go
on.
I know that clearing up to the final fight was faster than any previous final tier, but I don't know if the final fight took it over any previous times.
Right. Okay.
It seems roughly on par, at least, doesn't it? It's not like it's not been exceptional
No.
in terms of length, but usually they're not. Usually they're kind of
Yeah.
standard. They don't have as many tricks to them. They're not like Ultimates where they have puzzles involved and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, congratulations, Neverland.
Or not. Who knows?
Or not.
Well,
Next week.
Might have to retract that congratulations, but for now. All right, moving on to some maintenance / just updates. This is regarding congestion in the data center travel / world visit systems. This was posted on June 2nd. Since the release of patch 6.4, we've been experiencing a high increase of players, including those returning to the game, and we are seeing a much higher volume of people accessing the data center travel / world visit systems. Due to this, there are time periods when the data center travel / world visit process may take longer than usual or temporarily unavailable on certain worlds. We ask for everyone's cooperation in utilizing the data center travel / world visit systems by avoiding peak times when accessing these services. We apologize for any inconvenience and thank you for your patience and cooperation. So,
it can't really.
I mean, they
be
can
a
ask that.
time,
yeah.
unless it's when most people are using it.
I never use that system.
Oh no, I'm never going to get trapped.
Well, you have less reason to do it on EU.
Yeah. You have a certain privilege being like a stream personality in that like people are more likely to go to you than you having to go to other people.
That's fair.
That's
And
yeah.
I think most people is like the trouble. I mean, it's annoying when you find someone who's like, "Oh, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14." Oh, what? What server you on? And they're on a different one. Then you'd have to travel to play with them. But
And you
most of
pay
the time,
them to
if your friends are
transfer.
playing, you'd agree what server to go on, wouldn't you?
Well, I guess I'm so old school that I would have. If I was going to play with friends, I would move my character.
Yeah.
To that server, but I don't know how that.
Maybe when
What
we
an
get to
expensive
PC.
solution.
Well, I would start where my friends are to begin with.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on Ragnarok. Like it's
Exactly.
Well, the idea behind this is so that they don't congest any one world anymore. That is why they made the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know why
it's
people use it.
strictly
I just
limited.
it is not for me, and I don't think
Most
it would have
people
been
just
even
use
if
it
I
for,
wasn't.
market board
doing this.
manipulation.
Okay, yeah, you cannot move to Ragnarok. You cannot move. Ragnarok is a congested world. There are lots of congested worlds now.
Yeah.
So
But we're getting a third DC soon, so it'll be fine.
well, next year, right? I don't know. I think they said 2024 for.
Well, sorry, when I said soon, I meant in like the grand scheme of the
Right.
cosmos.
Right. Okay. That's fair. Okay. So there you go. Be careful when using that world travel system. I just can't imagine being stuck for hours in a world like you can't play the game at that point. You
No,
just
it
sit
makes
there.
me feel ill.
Yeah. Okay. There are some known issues after patch 6.4.
This is a biggie.
Yeah, the following issues have been confirmed. We're currently investigating and working to address these issues. It is possible to avoid knockback effects of actions used by enemies when using certain general actions, such as desynthesize and repair during combat. Please do not attempt to exploit this bug when progressing duties, as exploitation of bugs falls under prohibited behaviors. Yes, Rolla?
I didn't even know you could do that in combat. I thought it
Me
just
neither.
wouldn't let you.
Neither did we
No,
when
no.
we first discussed this.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
No idea.
Who tries to find that out too? Like, what if I repaired
just told
right
guys.
now?
Yeah, that is strange. We apologize.
Do not
Don't
use
do
this.
it.
Do not
No
do
spaghetti
this.
runs.
We apologize for the delay in discovering this issue, which has been latent for some time, and for any inconvenience it may have caused. However, please be aware that if we confirm
Inconvenience.
inconvenience.
Why?
It's an interesting choice of words. However, please be aware that if we confirm that you have been exploiting this bug when progressing duties after this news was posted, an account penalty will be issued based on the terms of service.
You are warned.
So you are warned. They are watching. When the
Remember Unger Max. Don't let it happen.
yeah,
Oh.
don't let it. Yeah, those people got fucked.
Unger Max was a classic.
Yeah. When the boss performs double meteor in either the Voidcast Deus or the Voidcast Deus Extreme, there are cases where the knockback is not correctly calculated if the targeted characters for the mechanic are in the same position. We apologize for the inconvenience.
What does that mean? Like, what happens if you're standing in the same position? Like, where does it knock you to?
Yeah, that's
I
interesting.
think that's definitely like a difficult issue anyway. Like if you're slightly off, maybe it doesn't quite calculate. You should be still going in that direction.
I mean, there are things that I hope they will address eventually for that particular fight, the extreme one especially, because that arena is difficult to like see things in.
Square have been homogenizing the markers in this game, so you always know. They've started doing it in this expansion, last expansion. So like all tank busters have a certain symbol, or all tank busters with a line AoE have a certain symbol, whatever.
Yeah.
This patch is the only time I've noticed it, but it may have lived for longer. A yellow knockback can be arm's length, but a purple knockback can't be.
No.
And in extreme, it can't be arm's length. The arena is crimson red with purple blue markings all over it.
Yep.
It's incredibly difficult to see the purple knockback
And
when you have two people with massive AoEs on them as well, blinking over you.
Yeah.
You all have to stack mid. It's difficult.
With the giant like flare AoEs that are so massive to begin with, like they're like probably the biggest markers you can get. So you have to like all get to the center. It's hard. It's hard to position. So people with like bad vision must struggle a lot in that fight. I
Hey,
would imagine.
That's what the colorblind.
Yeah, no, I'm not
See,
saying
okay.
colorblind. I mean just people with just
No,
generally
I know what
poor
you mean.
vision. You know?
We
Yeah,
turned
that's
on
but
the.
just use colorblind.
We turned on the colorblind mode, and it was still difficult to
Yeah.
see it.
Which
is
try all
ridiculous
of
that we
them?
even had to make that attempt.
because
but-
purple is still purple. It just inverts it, so now it's green on green. It's not going to make.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You know.
It didn't make the colors easier to see. There was one where it was all in purple and green. That one was wild.
Yeah.
I loved that one.
Yeah.
But they really need to work on like some visibility stuff
Yeah.
in this game in general.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Phoenix was a
Well,
constant
visibility
issue.
in this
Yeah.
game is generally okay, and then they make horrible arenas like Phoenix and Voidcast
Yeah.
Days, which is like normally fine
Yes. Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just every now and then you need to, when you're playtesting it, you know the mechanics because you designed the fight, but think about the visual, just how it plays out for people who, are having to watch the mechanics.
Yeah.
It's got to be like
Yeah.
one colorblind person in the team, right? They can answer like, "Hey, look
I
at
hope
this.
so.
Yeah.
Can you see? Does this look like something?"
Yeah.
Am I free?
Oh, well.
Are we
It's
freezing?
okay.
really?
Flip for a minute.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Still working outside my. As you know, it is what it is. All right. Yeah. So that's. They know that that's happening. Do not exploit any of the stuff that we said here. Like the. Oh, you can't really exploit the other one because that's just the boss doing
That's just
the wrong
interesting.
thing.
Yeah. There's just an issue there.
All right. Moving on. Automatic demolition is returning to housing on Chaos and Light.
Hey, welcome back.
The automatic
I
house.
just-
Yeah, go on, Rolla.
I was gonna say, I keep forgetting that it keeps turning like off and on. I
Yeah.
don't even know anymore.
No.
And on
I
different
agree
servers,
with
like,
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
just visit your house whenever just to make sure.
Yes.
Did they update it on like the server status page or something? They could have a little symbol or something on there. They have a server status page.
Yes.
I just think maybe if there's not already an icon on there, just have that page show,
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah. The automatic housing demolition timer for worlds in the Chaos and Light data centers, which was halted temporarily in February 2023, will resume on Wednesday, the 21st of June 2023, around 8 a.m. GMT, 9 a.m. BST, 6 p.m. Australia Eastern Time. The auto demolition timer will resume from the time that was remaining as of Thursday, the 9th of February 2023. So they've added some time to it. so that's nice.
Mhm.
At 5:25 p.m. GMT, Friday the 10th of February 2023 at 4:25 a.m. Australia Eastern Time. It's interesting that they skipped BST for that one.
Is it because it was the same at that period of the time of
Oh,
year?
right. Yes,
Yeah,
it would have
must
been.
have
Yeah. Yeah. This, I mean, it was halted for the war, and that war is going to last.
And then for the earthquake.
This
And then for the earthquake.
partially for the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria.
No. It's for like it was
for both,
extended
okay.
because of the
Okay.
earthquake, right? Because it says
Yeah,
as of February.
it was.
The earthquake was later.
That's true.
Yeah.
They
They were going to end this. They actually announced the end of this
They did.
auto demolition halting just before the earthquake happened, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and then they said in light of recent events.
I feel like with every world event at this point, they have to delay it.
Yeah.
Maybe at this point, just like, holidays, it's delayed.
Yeah.
Bank holidays, religious holidays, an election's coming up. Gotta delay that.
It also puts them in like this weird position as like, what is an event worthy of halting the timer?
That's the biggest issue,
Yes.
isn't it? Because, I mean, the event that they originally halted it for is still very much happening.
Yes.
So by removing the halt on it, it sends out a weird message anyway. So it's like, it's just an awkward situation for them.
Yeah.
I think they need to have maybe a written, like, if we have to halt demolition, this will be for like a maximum of 90 days or whatever within their terms of service. So they can have their own, like,
that would have made it easier.
way out.
Like, yeah. So yeah, because as it is now, they just kind of have to like sit there and be like, how long should
Exactly.
we keep it?
Yeah.
It's been a year.
I mean, you could say that
And
maybe
for
they
me.
were hopeful that it would be resolved quickly, but whatever.
Yes.
They were wrong, unfortunately. All right. So there you go. Housing, auto demolition in Europe. Remember, go into your estate. You can confirm how much is left. It says, for players who have not entered their estates for at least 30 days, the status under the estate tab of the timers window will indicate the estate is being prepared for auto demolition and denote the number of days remaining. This status will no longer be displayed upon entering the estate. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, it doesn't tell you anymore when you enter your house that the auto demolition timer has been reset, apparently. Wasn't that like a whole thing that they added? Which is a weird thing to do, but sure. So there you go. Don't lose your house. Don't lose your house.
Just go in and like move a plant.
Okay.
You don't even have to move anything. You just have to go inside.
Yeah.
Open
I
the
always
door.
move something a little bit just in case.
Yes.
It tells you.
Yeah.
Well, I never let it get to this stage, but I was just
You
having
get like
move
yeah,
something a
you
little
get
bit just in case.
multiple emails as well, don't you?
You do,
Before it
yeah.
happens. So
Mhm.
But you're meant to.
yeah.
I'm sure there will be issues around that.
Well, you're supposed to get multiple emails. There have been instances in the past that people have
Yeah.
voiced of losing their houses without any warning.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. Okay. Job changes. There were job changes announced with this patch that came with this patch.
Hey.
They're not super like interesting once you've seen the pattern, but we'll go through them.
But some generic stuff that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. So so we'll just quickly go through them. For Gladiator, Paladin, Riot Blade's potency has been increased from 120 to 140, and combo potency has been increased from 280 to 300. So that's a buff.
Buff?
Lots of buffs. Circle of Scorn's potency has been increased from 100 to 120. Divine Veils. Okay, so this is a pattern you'll see a lot. The Divine Veils effect radius has been increased from 15 to 30 yalms. For Royal Authority, potency increased from 120 to 140. Combo potency has been increased from 380 to 400. And for Atonement, potency has been increased from 380 to 400, and Execution no longer interrupts action combos.
That's the
great.
best part
That's
of it.
very convenient.
Yes.
But otherwise, a generic buff for our 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Overall buff for Paladin there.
Nice, very nice.
Very
We
nice.
like that. We like that.
I don't think any job's got a nerf this map.
No,
No,
I don't think so. For a warrior, Storm's Path potency increase 150 to 160. Combo potency increase from 430 to 440. Vengeance, the vulnerability down status effect has been combined with the Vengeance status effect.
That's interesting, and I'm curious as to why they needed to do that. I actually no. You know what? That's probably because the vulnerability down status is like the generic vulnerability down status, so there would possibly be instances where it overlaps and possibly cancels itself out.
Okay. Yeah. For Stormsight, potency increase 150 to 160. Combo potency increased from 430 to 440. Fellcleave, potency increase 490 to 520.
Wow.
Upheaval increase from 370 to 400. Pretty substantial buffs. Shake It Off, effect radius increased from 15 to 30 ohms. And Inner Chaos potency increased from 650 to 660.
Almost samurai numbers.
For Dark Knight, Dark Knight has one update, and it is the generic one. Effect radius for Dark Missionary has been increased from 15 to 30 ohms.
Clearly,
right.
Dark Knight was already too powerful.
Yeah, Dark Knight is in a good spot right now.
You can Dark Missionary even bigger now.
Yeah.
Not anymore, but you can do it bigger.
Yeah. For Gunbreaker, Keen Edge potency increased from 170 to 200. Brutal Shell potency increased from 130 to 160. And combo potency has been increased from 270 to 300. And Heart of Light, effect status has been increased. Sorry, effect radius has been increased from 15 to 30 yalms.
Breaker. Who's still playing that?
For Monk, Mantra and Brotherhood has both had their effect radius increased from 15 to 30 ohms. And that's it. For Dragoon, this is big. We talked about it before, but Jump can now be executed while bound. To improve the functionality of this action, Jump will no longer affect the character's position as recognized by the server. The camera will no longer follow your character when executing Jump. Big
the whole
update.
class just completely changed the whole identity of the class.
For Battle Litany, effect radius has been increased from 15 to 30 ohms. Dragon Sight now nullifies action direction requirements for self.
That's a really nice buff.
That is a nice buff.
Yeah. God.
For High Jump, it can now be the same thing as Jump, essentially. So, there you go.
I mean, obviously it's good.
I mean, they haven't removed
but
the
it's
jump actions.
Funny. It's funny when people like fall off or die because of it.
Yes,
and
but
that
they don't
adds a level of skill to the job that most people, other than the French, have managed to master, and that is enjoyable. With the whole
They were the
class.
floor tank for
exactly. They were the floor tank. It was funny.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. For Samurai, Tenka Goken, effect radius increased from 5 to 8 yalms.
8 yalms?
Oh, interesting.
That's
well,
tiny.
because it was small to begin with. So, Hisatsu Sene potency has been increased from 800 to 860.
Jesus. Look at their numbers.
Yeah, the numbers are mad.
Why does Samurai have such big potency numbers?
Remember, this is the selfish DPS mailer.
That's true.
Keishi Goken effect radius has been increased from 5 yalms to 8 yalms. SoH potency increased from 520 to 560. Ogi Namikiri's potency has been increased from 800 to 860. And Keishi Namikiri has been increased from 800 to 860.
80 to 860 would be a massive potency.
That'd be the best buff ever.
I mean, stop the press at that point. Yeah, there you go.
Massive. I mean, buffs to a class with massive DPS already.
Yes.
In fairness, they do have a lot of things where they have to stand still.
It's to balance out the fact that they don't help anyone else out.
Yeah.
Completely
selfish.
For Reaper, it's the same as Dark Knight, essentially. They have only got effect radius increase for Arcane Circle, 15 to 30 ohms.
Congratulations.
For physical and ranged DPS physical range DPS roll actions, Peloton, effect radius has been increased from 20 to 30 ohms.
Thank you.
Big changes, well, yeah, I would say it's not big changes, but changes
Pretty
to
big.
Bard's ballads and stuff. Mage's Ballad, I meant songs. Range of additional effects granting mage's ballad to self and party members have been increased from 30 to 50 alms.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Armies pay
Bigger
on.
than almost any arena.
Yeah. Armies pay on. Range of the additional effect granting armies pay on. Again, 30 to 50. Battle voice. Radius increase from 20 to 30 alms. The Wanderer's Minuet. Range of the additional effect granting Wanderer's Minuet to self and party members has been increased from 30 to 50. Again. Troubadour, 20 to 30. Nature's Men, 20 to 30. And Radiant Finale, 20 to 30.
No.
So,
Numbers go up.
Numbers do go up.
But only the range.
Yes, yes, that's true. Machinist, Tactician, effect radius. Can you guess it? Increased from 20 to 30. Yeah.
Oh,
30.
not 50.
Not 50. Not 50. For Dancer, Shield Samba, effect radius has been increased from 20 to 30.
Oh.
Yeah. Single technical finish. Range of step bonus effect granting technical finish and a spirit to self and party members has been increased from 15 to 30.
Oh, is it 30? 30.
30.
Wow.
Wow. The same is true for double technical finish, triple technical finish, and quadruple technical finish. So 15 to 30
interesting though. Everything to 30 arms except 3 bard songs to that 50 now.
Yes, I believe that's
Was
also
there
true.
an issue with them like not being in range for those specific skills? What was the?
I suspect because Divinity, which is the wings for White Mage, has also been increased to 50. Which
And did that sometimes fall off?
that's like an aura based one, and I
I
believe
think any aura-based skill.
I think the ballads are auras as well.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
For Black Mage, Xenoglossy potency increased from I almost said 80 again. 800 to 880.
That's
Now
a
this
nice
is just
jump.
insulting. What?
What?
Why?
Yeah.
We deserve it.
What?
Black mages have a tough time, Rollo.
Right.
Do you know how difficult it is to get hit by every AoE so you can continue casting your spells?
Yeah.
The class favoritism is so fucking real.
Yeah.
Oh,
You also get an upgrade, a buff to the trait Enhanced Enochian 3. Magic damage increase has been changed from 21% to 23%.
See, that's actually massive.
Mm.
A 2% DPS
And also
increase.
very specific.
It's so specific, it's weird,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about this is that it's a convenient factor of Black Mage is that they can increase the percentage of damage that a Black Mage does by just adjusting this trait rather than having to adjust potency numbers for every single skill.
Yeah.
That's true. You know they went to 25, but it was too much.
Yeah.
Because 23 or 21, they're both
It's very
disappointing,
oddly
weird
specific.
numbers.
Yeah. For Summoner, Searing Light radius increased from 15 to 30 yalms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
For Red Mage, Embolden and Magic Barrier both have had their radius increased from 15 to, can you believe it, 30 yalms.
Oh, 30.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Yeah. For White Mage, Asylum, effect radius has been increased from 10 to 15 yalms, which
30
is... No, if that had been 30 alms, that would have been shocking.
10 to 15.
15 yalms is huge when you put it down.
Have you
and
seen
Samaro's
the
5
bubbles
to
that?
8.
Yeah, the bubbles
have
are
you seen
huge.
the bubbles that Lakil and I have been putting down since the patch happened?
It's almost the whole arena. It's crazy.
Yes.
Dia potency has been increased from 60 to 65, and damage over time potency has been increased from 60 to 65. So slight buff.
Don't forget to keep it up.
That's 5 times 30. Or no, because it would hit 10 times. So 5 times 10. So
Yeah.
that's a 50-point increase.
Yeah.
That's quite good, but weird that it does the same amount of damage as the dot afterwards.
Yeah, but I prefer that than having like just no damage or like low.
Oh no, everyone needs a dot.
Yeah.
Any class without a dot, like
This
Yeah.
this allows
That
the
is
kill to
life.
keep DPSing even if he has to keep moving.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most dot skills is like 100 to 150 potency or something, and then
Right.
like 50 potency dot.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, that's true. For Temperance, range of effect reducing damage taken by self and party members have been... Temperance is the name. By self and party members have been increased from 30 to 50 alms. So there you go. Wings last or reach further now. It's essentially... I mean, also for Bard, essentially means that once it's popped, you know everyone will always have this effect on. Because I don't think there's any arena that you fight where that's bigger than 50 yalms.
Yeah. Do you think there will ever come a time when White Mage's Temperance, you'll be able to, in the same way as Summoners and Scholars, you'll be able to glamour that to the wing accessories that we have in game? You know, Diablos wings.
It's already
golden feathery wings.
It's already like a thing that you get when you get married.
Yeah, it's the magic prism.
Yeah.
Or do you think you can change it to different magic prisms? So
well, what I actually want is for them to change the wings to something unique.
No, not White
Either
Mage.
one of them. Doesn't matter for White Mage, but maybe change the...
White Angel wings.
Yeah, whatever. For Scholar, Fey Illumination... And I'm just, okay. So, effect radius increased from 15 to 30 alms. Sacred Soil, 10 to 15 alms radius.
That's my bubble.
Yeah. Deployment Tactics and Seraphic Illumination, 15 to 30 alms increase. Consolation, effect radius increased from 20 to 30 alms. And Expedience...
I didn't know Consolation was 20. Why is that bigger than everything else I had?
I don't know.
And why have they homogenized it?
I don't know. Well, you know that this has been their long-term plan.
It'll be 35 yams now, Gil. Your Constellation could be the biggest healer AoE there is.
And for Expedient, effect radius has been increased from 15 to 30 alms. I'm surprised that isn't... Well, because it's not an aura.
I'm glad Expedient's going up, because...
No, it's not.
That's a
if you're not in
skill.
range for... It is a useful
It's the only skill that Scholar has that makes them worth keeping in a group.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
For Astrologian, there we go. Divination. That's from Astrologian I was thinking about earlier. Effect radius has been increased from 15 to 30 alms, so that's in line with everything else. Collective Unconscious. Range of additional effect reducing damage taken by 10% has been increased from 8 to 30 yalms.
Gather up, guys. I'm going to do the Collective Unconscious.
Yeah.
Gather up. No, you will be in the bubble.
That's wild.
Massive bubble.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen an astrologian use this since the patch?
No.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's just...
Why
are you holding your arms out? You don't have to anymore.
Additional effect reducing damage taken now has a duration of 5 seconds. This effect will be reapplied upon re-entering the bounds of Collective Unconscious. So it's...
Was that always the case?
No.
I think it used to leave immediately when you left the bounds of Collective Unconscious.
And if you went back and you didn't get it back?
No. You did.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you did? Okay.
I thought this implied that this one... I guess... okay.
If you did, that's fine. But if that was a new feature, God, that's sorely needed.
Yeah. All right. For Sage, Carachol, effect radius has been increased from 15 to 30 alms. Oh, God. Physis to Holos and Panheima have all had their effect radiuses increased from 15 to 30 alms. And Eucration Doses 3 has had its potency increased from 70 to 75.
Lovely. So buffs all round.
Yeah.
Homogenization of party-wides.
I believe the reason that they've done this in terms of like the arm increases of like all of the party-wide buffs is because I think they said something about it allowing them to further experiment with arena shape and sizes rather than... I
completely agree with the change. For me, there's no like fun gameplay element to casting a party buff and someone doesn't get it because they were a bit far away. That's not fun to me. The fun is knowing when to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't fun when I had to run to the middle of the arena, potentially get killed, trying to make sure that everyone gets hit by something.
You have to kind of like break your neck trying to get to the middle to make sure everyone gets everything.
Yeah.
And there's so many mechanics that require you to spread and be in certain positions. It just goes against the ethos of the fight. So good change.
Chad is correct. P10 has a very interestingly shaped arena, and so does the final boss of the Ether Font.
Yes.
So that might have contributed to it.
True.
It's good. I want them to make more unique arenas.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the
Mhm.
circles and squares.
Yeah. Okay, so that's those are the updates to
Happy.
jobs.
Happy
Yeah,
all around.
it's just buffs, so I don't think we can complain.
Sorry, red mages.
Could squeeze an extra few percentages into Black Mage realistically, but you
Oh,
know,
come on.
Yeah, black mages needed it so bad.
30%.
You
might
don't
have been
even
more
play it
appropriate.
anymore.
I know it's.
You,
I need to get the.
you're a fallen black
I'm gonna
mage.
try and get the panda gear
Uh-huh.
for the current panda gear for my casters, well, so I can play casters more again.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's because I have to raid as paladin, so I'm only going to play paladin. I
Yeah.
don't want to level like get 2 things.
No, I can see that. Okay, well, we'll do Mogmail next week. Okay, it's time to talk about Pandæmonium.
Wow. It's
Spoilery thing that was supposed to
Oh,
appear over the whole
right, you're
screen.
right. We have that. Okay, let's go.
So
Okay.
sudden.
Make the bonk.
All right, we are now in spoiler territory for Pandæmonium. Okay. I guess we'll do the recap, and then we'll talk about, give our thoughts, I guess, along the way, but also at the end. So we meet with, it all starts with Fortunato in Itioscope.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously where it all left off last time was Pandæmonium just appearing just in our timeline, in the live stream, essentially, in the Itioscope. So that's where we're picking up. They found Claudian's airship, apparently, in Azizla. And
now.
yeah.
Have they ever talked about Claudian anywhere else? Did I go crazy?
What?
What do you mean? He was in the previous quest
He went
line.
away. He was the
He was
main
the
doctor guy.
Yeah,
Wait.
he was the main.
No, wait. I'm thinking of someone. I'm thinking of the other dude. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Because Claudian was the dude leading it last time.
Yeah,
He was the
Yeah,
main
Claudian
guy.
has been the main character, like essentially, of this raid series in the modern
But
our
he is
timeline.
also
Yeah.
He does also exist as that
No,
NPC
sorry.
in Hammer.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh.
I know. I was thinking of Claudian. I fucking forgot he existed. I don't know why. I was very confused when I was like,
Well,
which one was Claudian?
Yeah, I think chat's right. There is another Claudian in the
Yeah.
game. So
Yes.
you might have been thinking about him.
That confused me too.
Yeah.
Because I remembered the name Claudian,
Yeah.
and I looked it up. And it was like, oh, you can see him in Eastern Thanalan next to the bridge. And I was like,
Well, yeah.
okay.
I understand
And
because
it's not him. It's not.
No,
him.
It's a
not
different
him.
guy.
It's also been a long time since we did the previous quest, and since you don't see that person, you don't actually get to see him until the very end of the story when he returns. So if you don't get any reference, I can see how that would be confusing.
It's just. It was so long. I was like,
Yeah.
"Who?"
Well, Claudian, he's been to Azizla apparently. In
Normal
the
thing to do.
in the etherochemical research facility. A part of it was missing.
Yeah, they said
Like
that
a
an
cube
entire.
had disappeared.
Right.
Yeah, just like the entire chunk of it, like a chunk error in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, those were the best.
They now theorize that the Pandæmonium we now see in the ethereal sea has been reformed or
Yes,
rebuilt or whatever,
Star Trek or something. It's like weird.
out of those pieces of the research
The
facility.
ether, I guess, has been broken down and reformed into a medieval castle.
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah. So we need to get in there, but there is a where are we in the story? So we're just
We're looking at
Fortunato
Pandæmonium.
and the researchers right
We're
now.
looking at,
Yeah, and MGG
But then-
and the other guy.
Yeah.
but then Fortunato's like, yeah, but before you can investigate it, there's this other thing that escaped from it.
Yeah.
Kind of a big issue. It's eating souls.
It's very
Yeah.
very
Let-
dangerous creature.
It's-
You go fix that. Essentially, is what they
Yeah,
say. We
he has no issue sending us in.
No, you go deal with that, and then we'll figure out what to do after. So that throws us into the fight with Coquitos.
Cocytus.
Sorry, I like Coquitos.
You like saying cocky toes.
Is it Cocytus? Do we know that? It is Greek, isn't it? Or
Yes,
is it Latin?
Cocytus.
Okay,
Yeah.
it is Cocytus. Okay.
With
We
a
looked
K,
up the
it's
Oh, we
Cocytus.
did look
guide
that
for
up,
it.
didn't
Yeah.
we? Yeah, we did.
With
Not
T's, it's Cocytus.
right. We go into the 9th circle. How do we?
Mhm.
Let's.
Oh my
review
God.
it.
Just the... Oh, you know it, guys. The filthiest, most disgustingly crunchy wind chimes in this fight. The music's so strange but good. Like it's
The music is very
It's
good.
weird, but it's great.
Yeah,
I loved it.
the music is good.
The fight's good.
The fight is
fight's
good?
The fight,
Very competent.
the fight is nice and varied, even on normal mode. You don't really repeat any of the mechanics.
No.
You don't have enough time, unless you're with a really bad group.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean it has specific phases with mechanics, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Not all of it's particularly challenging. Like a lot of the mechanics are things we've seen before, but they have nice twists on them, like the
I mean,
expanding
it makes
fire
sense
and the shrinking
because
ice.
it makes sense because Cocytus takes on the spirits of deceased people, so
Yes.
it's understandable that they would have mechanics that we would have seen before, even if we don't know these people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one of them is clearly a behemoth.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be nice because they're voiced,
Yeah.
and they have the different personalities have different voices. Has anyone done a thorough analysis on if they're like
People have had theories, but I don't think there's been anything definitively taken.
no,
They have, particularly the mage's voice in Japan is much less like in ours. It sounds like an old witch. In Japan, it sounds like a relatively young woman.
Oh,
yeah,
so it
it
could
reminds
be
me
like,
of Pepega, but I don't think
Okay.
it is.
Yeah. Okay. I thought maybe they would theorize that it was like Edda or something. Like
That would be cool.
that would be cool,
That would be, but it doesn't really fit her personality.
but no. It doesn't.
My favorite part about this fight is that like it's just so unrelated to the rest of the story.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
true.
I really thought this like big white slime crunchy chitin looking man was gonna be something, but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I agree.
Just
We were theorizing beforehand that it was some sort of like non-pandemonium related like eldritch horror that just
Yes.
appeared because of the events that happened. But no,
Yeah.
To a certain extent, you could say the same thing about the Proto Carbuncle in the sense that like it's just a monster from Pandemonium
Yeah.
without
That's true.
without
I can-
anything beyond it.
Yeah.
well, even a lot of the early ones, Hippocampus.
Well, that's the case for all three of the first fights. Well, no, the second two fights
Arachthonius.
in
that one kind of made sense though, because it's like you're going into Pandemonium and you're
yeah,
having to
it,
Hmm.
it
get
felt
through these
right early on.
monsters.
The
Yeah.
first tip felt right with just pandemonium creatures.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I noticed straight away with this model is that it uses the same rigging as Ifrit from E6, Eden 6, where the remake that eventually fuses with Garuda. And I was like, I should have put together that the fact that it uses that model would mean that when it become in the Savage mode, there'd be some sort of kicking involved of orbs because he does that because Ifrit does that in
Yeah.
E6. But I
Yeah.
did not think it until I saw it.
Uh-huh.
That's fair. I didn't realize it was that model. Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Not much. I mean, as in terms of the first fight of each tier, it was Arachthonius, Carbuncle, this.
Yeah.
I'd probably say this is like on par or about as easy as Arachthonius. I feel Carbuncle was a bit of a standout fight in its.
Yeah, I would say I'd say
Difficulty.
this is harder than Arachthonius.
Yeah, maybe
I would
just.
say because I think what makes this more difficult in general is the limit cut mechanic during Savage.
Well, in Savage particularly, yeah.
Mm.
If we want to bring Savage into it,
I don't think we should bring Savage into it now. We
Okay.
we can
should
talk about the Savage version
normal.
at the end. Yeah.
Normal
Alright,
for now.
On,
that is
about
part of
on
the
par,
story.
just slightly harder than Arachthonius in normal,
Yeah.
but enjoyable fun.
Yeah. Very like it's giving me a little bit of like Kingdom Hearts design for some reason.
I can say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it almost
It looks like a
kind of reminds
nobody.
me.
Yeah.
It almost kind of reminds me of Lingering Will, like a little bit in
Right.
I
some
can
way.
say that.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Anyways, we kill it, of course. And after that, we hear. I think it's just a disembodied voice at first. I think, and then she appears.
Yeah, she
and
congratulates us on our success.
Yeah, and it's Athena, and she is crazy.
Oh, no.
She says that she has kidnapped Claudian, in her quest for nothing.
Yeah,
You know, it's
to-
just godhood. You know, she's trying to
He'll
become
be a
god.
nice little. She'll be a
Little bit of
nice
godhood.
tool. And she's like, "Don't worry, I won't hurt him. I
Yeah.
always take good care of my tools."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She wants to become as god, and she recreates. So that's when we get Erictonius and La Habrea, who she just
They're just memories
creates
of
out of memories.
That's why they're in
From
our timeline.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
she's like,
from-
"See ya."
From the memory crystal that we got at the start of this quest line.
Yes, yes. So now we have Erictonius and La Habrea, and they are, they're like, okay, well, I guess we're here now. We need to figure out what
They
to
have-
do.
We learn that they're formed from memories just before the final days occurred.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
So they're kind of like, wow, the world's still here. We
Yeah.
must have won.
yeah,
We did it,
yeah.
Yay.
fellas.
So, and it's funny because after that quest, we bring them down into the Itioscope, and that's where the two scientists are, you know, waiting for us. Rusinol and Nemgigi. I'll just say their names so I remember them.
MGG.
And if you, after that quest is complete, you can just see them like cowering in the corner because, you know, it's kind of a big deal what's just happened.
Yeah. Our ancient set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Chat. Like, I don't understand why Athena summoned. So what she says when she summons Ericthonios and La Habrea is like, maybe talking to them, you'll understand my point. And at no point do they help us understand her
No.
perspective.
No,
No.
not really.
Was it just like through? I mean, they said they felt like a calling to do what she like to do her bidding.
Yeah.
But they resist, I guess.
Well,
so
yeah.
it just doesn't.
Ericthonius says that just because like he was made to be like she crafted him to be like that. I
Yeah.
don't know why she brought back La Habrea unless
No.
like because both of their memories are in the crystals, she can't do one without the other. I
Possibly.
don't understand her thinking.
That part
it's a
never
two for
explained.
you know.
She's on
package
her
deal.
way to becoming a god. She probably underestimates us.
Yeah.
That's
Just
true.
to fuck with us, I guess. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be funny?
Yeah.
if I showed you these souls that the world is like fucked up now.
Yeah. Could have picked anyone else, but she picked the two people who will help us the most.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, no,
Yeah.
she couldn't pick anyone because that would require more effort because we already had the crystal on us.
Fair.
Well,
That's true.
Actually, yeah.
Themis makes sense though coming back because he's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay, so Rusinol and MGG, they bring them up to speed on everything. As you'll know, as we'll learn, it's go real fast. They'll learn a lot very fast.
Oh, yeah. They have a capacity
Don't
for
worry.
learning.
I mean,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been very fun if they showed us MGG giving them a recap of
No,
everything that
no, no,
happened
no.
all the way from 1.0 up until 6.4.
No, I'm just
But-
saying they have a very
Apparently that happened.
extensive knowledge about our world.
so
yes.
La Habrea, you killed a lot of people.
Well,
She doesn't-
that's kept
no,
vague
she
for a
doesn't
long
say
time.
that.
He doesn't actually.
She says that, and well, she almost immediately
Yeah.
tips
Yeah.
her hat by saying "La, an Asian."
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Also, we learned that conveniently, Ericthonios and La Habrea, they don't have magic in this form, so they can't help us in securing Pandæmonium. So they say that someone's probably going to wait for us in Pandæmonium. I believe they say something like something in there that'll greet us. I don't know if they actually say it's going to be Themis, but they theorize that there's going to be something there when we go back.
Well, no, I think they just said that like she wouldn't leave it completely unguarded, so
That's-
there's probably going to be someone or
Yeah.
something
right,
there.
right. We go there, and well, there he is, Themis. He
Yay!
has been
The baby
recreated
boy.
from the soul that was
Themis.
yes, from the soul that was in the ethereal sea. But he has been crafted with Athena's will in mind, so he cannot fight that urge.
So, did we talk about this 2 episodes ago? I think he's in the ethereal sea, but our ethereal sea on the source, and not on the first where he died.
Well, the
No.
first on the source.
Right? So are they just connected?
No,
or...
because Heidelin specifically at one point says that she brought over 2 souls from the first
Oh,
ethereal
yes.
sea to ours because they,
Oh, okay.
which was specifically she was talking about Emmet Self and
Yeah.
Minfilia at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The thing I assumed is just like that's part of why Athena was like this was more difficult than I thought it would be to.
Mhm.
Like I'm just assuming Athena has more power than she says.
Yes.
Yeah.
That she was able to do this by her will. It doesn't really matter.
No.
No, yeah, it does. But it made me curious if it's like
It's a little
Yeah,
bit.
it
ethereal
is-
sea's
it is
connected,
interesting.
or
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
they
It
But
are.
it
opens
sounds
up
like they're
questions
not.
that they haven't necessarily answered as well.
Well, what's interesting is what happened at the end of the story, which we'll get to.
Mhm.
But we'll all right. So yeah, he can't. So he's like, I'm just gonna get out of here real quick because you need to fight some shit, and then you're probably gonna fight me. So Pandæmonium wakes up and comes alive. That's to that disgusting creature.
Oh,
but-
it's beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
like a
Such a silly
spider crab
Billy.
building.
yeah,
It's
not
Thomas the Tank Engine.
not-
Evil Thomas.
Yeah.
not
Horrible
as
gift.
we theorized, Alex.
This really annoyed me.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done some cool shit here, but
Because-
seeing as nothing else lined up as the story progressed with what we thought, because we thought, oh, it's timey-wimey, and you see Alex in here, that makes sense. Since that's not exactly what's happening, then I get it. But
But like, we understand that things from the old days turn into things from that are in the source now. There could have been a link that if they wanted to make one.
They
Yeah,
could have,
they
but
could
not
have.
everything needs to be connected directly in such a way.
Don't make
No.
it look exactly like Alexander with
But Mela,
Thomas the Tank
Mela,
Engine's
you should
face
no,
on.
listen, Mela, we should be super happy because that means for once we can't just look at Alex and go, ancients.
Actually, no, you're right. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. It was
Uh,
funny that it's nothing related to Pandemona from 8 as well. Like, it's
Right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
nothing like that.
No. Okay, so yeah, we fight. We fight Pandæmonium.
Yeah. Funny Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider house with pustules.
Do you like Arachne Eve? Because you'll love Pandemonium.
Yeah, it has.
Mm.
I'm glad they brought that mechanic back.
Yeah.
It's a really, I mean, it's used once,
Mm.
and it's a pretty decent mechanic.
And
Or
explain
twice, I suppose,
explain the
if you
mechanic
count
for those
mucus spray.
that don't know.
The one where you get a web spray on you. It's a mix between the mucus spray from Void Ark,
Mm.
where you'll tether to your nearby players if they get hit,
Mm-hmm.
plus the web that slows you down from Arachne Eve from Weeping City of Mark.
Yeah. Yep.
And you have to position all yourselves so you're not near any other players or these pillars along the walls. Otherwise, it will tether to them, and then you'll be slowed.
Yep.
It's a, fun
It's a
little
very
mechanic.
cool mechanic.
Mhm.
It's very difficult in Party Finder
Yeah.
because
Oh,
people will
it's
just
so
inch their way towards you.
Yeah, you think you're safe, and then like at like the last second, they're like, "No, I don't feel comfortable standing here."
No,
Let
I
me
gotta,
be a
I
little bit
gotta,
closer to you.
I gotta fidget a little bit. You know, I
Yeah.
got restless leg syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool arena, so it has these 2 platforms on either side with like a poison lake between them, but the webs form bridges every now and then, so you
Mhm.
can avoid one mechanic. But
That's
I
an instant
assume in
death
Savage
mechanic,
it's more.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't do a lot of normal, but yeah, it sounds like in Savage it does a lot
Mhm.
more.
Yeah.
And he does this funny thing where he does the Thomas the Tank Engine, leaning his whole neck out and looking in one direction to do like a half arena attack. It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's-
On Savage, this is going to be a thing where he leans his neck further. I mean, I haven't. People probably already know, but like, I just feel like he's going to lean his neck further so that it covers the entirety of the central arena. So you do have to go to a side,
That's what
one
I
of
was
the
thinking.
two side platforms.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too. I'm excited to try this one on Savage. I'm gonna be honest. I think this one is the weakest of the lot, probably. Or it's on the weakest
Well,
side in terms of repetition of mechanics.
It also uses the
This has
same
been growing on me.
music as the first one, so
That's
that
true
sort of
too.
adds to it, like being
Yeah.
a little bland.
There is something that I've noticed. Okay, so there's the regular 6. There are 2 meteor mechanics in this fight. One of them, it drops 6 meteors randomly across the main arena, and then 6 people have to stand on it.
Mhm.
Occasionally, one doesn't get hit, which is annoying, but like I can kind of understand that a little bit more. One that really annoys me, and I don't know why this has happened to me like multiple times now, is that there's a later part of the fight where there's 2 tank meteors
Yeah.
that the tanks have to stand in, and for whatever reason, I've had issues where both tanks stand in one of them. I've had issues where one tank stands in one and the other one just keeps tanking the boss and doesn't
Oh my
doesn't go
God.
stand in the other one. So I have chosen to stand in it such that the rest of the party doesn't suffer, and I end up being dead.
Right,
That's really annoying.
right.
What a sacrifice.
Yeah, thank you for your
I
sacrifice.
mean, they form like back and mid, but at that point you should be seeing them anyway, so it's not really an excuse.
No.
I will say with the music, I'm glad we're getting it like a little bit away from like some of the rock and J-rock vibes.
Oh yeah.
This one, or at least for the first, I mean, same music for the first 2 floors, but it's more like dance, EDM maybe kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
It's
which is
more
pretty neat.
EDM.
Yeah.
Basically, I think next expansion we should go into jungle and drum and bass and
That would be wild.
and
I would be super hype for jungle.
what's
Yeah.
the
I mean,
what's the
for
other
one boss, it wouldn't matter.
We should do breakcore. I want a breakcore.
Oh my God.
Do the amen break and just go insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Pandæmonium model is very cool. I think this is a unique model. I don't
model is
remember this.
brilliant.
Yes, it is cool.
I don't remember this rig ever appearing ever before.
It's beautifully gross.
Yeah.
So yeah, we defeat Pandæmonium, which sounds like should be the end. We've done it. We
Yeah.
destroyed
Yeah.
Pandæmonium.
We know in
Destroyed the
Eden we
building.
destroyed Eden in the first fight.
Yes,
so we
it's
know
true.
that doesn't work.
Yeah, it
out.
doesn't work. Okay, so yeah, we defeat it, and Themis appears. Eric, Tonius, and La Habrea also appears.
Also Pandæmonium was the big like pustule thing we saw in the trailer.
Yes.
So just I mean,
Yes. Yeah. Themis like, okay, I'll see you in the next tier. Peace. And he leaves. So we now theorize, or Eric, Thonios, and La Habrea theorize that. And this is the big mention, I guess, that Athena stored her memory in the heart of Sabik.
Oh my god!
They didn't name drop it immediately. They danced around it
Oh,
for
it
a
was
little
so
bit
good.
first, and then it's like, I believe you call it the heart of Sabik, which warped her desires. Yeah, leading
Yeah.
to La
The
Habrea
fact
killing
that-
her.
This is so clever that this lined up, that like what we learned about like Aurosite from the Iblis raids
Yes.
matches with what happened to Athena.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which
It's all coming
is very
together now.
exciting. And I thought, wow, are they just gonna drop like all of the lore of the heart of Sabik here? And yeah, they kind of are in this story. So that's very exciting.
Well, they kind of do, but they're also not fully. We'll talk about it at the
No,
end.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically say that the heart of Sabik kind of corrupts you just by having
Yes.
it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That is what.
Mm.
Which makes this ending a bit.
Yes.
We'll get to that. but
We will get.
yeah.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of things to say about the ending of the story, but we'll get there. Okay. So the ethereal. So yes, that's. They also then theorized that this, the ethereal signature of the heart of Sabik is the same. It's what's lured Claudius to Azizla. And
I should say Claudian, sorry.
sorry, Claudian, Claudius. Yes. I mean, I feel like they
Yes,
talk
and that-
more about. Is this
Like-
also when you had the option to mention?
Yes, you had. This is when you have the option of name dropping the High Sarah.
Yeah, the High Sarah.
ultimate.
Yes.
Does that not appear if you haven't done the eviscerades? I wonder.
No, it
I
doesn't.
don't
It does
think so,
not.
no.
No. So that's a big deal, which we'll also talk about at the end, because it is kind of it's very exciting. So yes,
I thought that Evilise would be relevant to this raid series.
I know.
Finally.
I thought they killed that guy. They
Yeah.
killed the writer, right?
Yeah. Huh?
They hated
Yeah.
him so much.
yeah,
You can
Executed.
do gold
But yeah.
source and mini games.
yeah,
This is also the first point where it's sort of like theorized that like it's clear that La Habre is going to realize like who Claudian is
yes,
in relation to the past.
yes.
He doesn't say it yet. but
No.
This is where he starts thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like someone maybe should have said to Claudian, where are you going? Why are you getting in an airship? Why are you heading towards Aslar? And he was just like in zombie mode thinking hard.
Well,
to
he just
speak.
insisted on it. Like he just.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
Yeah.
no. Well,
He's had
what he
research
says
in
later.
though.
Yeah.
What he says later is that like he wasn't in zombie mode. He still
No.
had all his faculties, and he was able to use those to essentially sneak away.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
This is
Less
also La Habre is also dancing around this, because I think this is also around the time when he mentions that Ultima had been used by an Asian, but he wasn't sure who it was because whatever they're obviously trying to keep that from him.
Yeah.
Although I
Yes,
think
he also knows that like so this Asian had the heart of Sabik, did he?
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Am I the baddie?
I think he's starting to figure it out at this point. We go back to Pandæmonium to fight Themis. And he's
We
essentially
have a little
saying,
talk with him.
yeah, I can't fight this or whatever.
Well, yeah, he can't fight against it, but he also says that it's because he'd seen how Athena had successfully warped people's desires before, but he didn't know that this would how his desires would be warped.
Right.
Which was his desire to want to fight us.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay, so the 11th
It was
circle.
rough and tumble.
Okay, so the 11th circle.
Yeah, he like transforms himself into some
Thematically-
sort of like Knight of the 12, Knight of the Round Table kind of guy.
And the fight is very based on the theme of Elidibus balance. So you
Yeah.
have some balance mechanics.
Most difficult arena in terms of orienting yourself. Good lord.
Right.
I've
yeah.
never been more lost in it. Trying to turn the boss north, everything looks the same. It's so disorienting.
Yeah.
I did. I like the song too. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a somber
Yeah.
theme of.
Oh
To
yeah,
the
it's a
Edge.
really
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
It's very
Well, it's
fitting
like-
because you don't want to necessarily fight him.
Exactly.
essentially.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the original leitmotif is just the Emerald theme.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably the poggiest song, but
Mm-hmm. The poggiest
Surprisingly,
song.
he does not do anything from his Warrior of Light fight at all. Not that I remember. Like, he doesn't do
No,
a single mechanic from it.
That doesn't
Mm.
surprise me.
No.
Like I
it's a
thought.
little bit sad though, because that's like our main knowledge.
Yeah, I
of his
thought there would
fighting
be like
technique.
some connection to that fight,
But
but
yeah, there was. No, I mean, aside from him just kind of looking sort of like a Warrior of Light,
yeah.
sort of.
Ish,
Yeah.
yeah. But then he
But,
also just has
one-
like Knight of the Round Table, weird aesthetic.
One theory that I've seen people saying is that he was actually. There's no evidence for this, but I've seen one theory is that he was the original Warrior of Light after the Sundering.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
that would be cool.
Uh,
True.
And that's why there's a visual similarity between his true form and what the Warrior of Light looks like.
okay.
Okay. Also, I have to say, I am so sorry to the party I was with when I was doing this. I literally was just talking to a friend of mine. I was like, yeah, this Tears and normal is like easy, baby mode, like fine,
Uh-huh.
not too bad. I was immediately hit with the most embarrassing run of my life.
Oh.
I constantly died to the stupidest mechanic that I always fucking hate. I even talked about it recently. The stupid, like, oh, is it the same or is it different mechanic where you have like the status icon and you have the circles?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, do you have to? I'm like, I don't know, do I have to
Opposite, 'cause
match
it's
it or do I?
balancing.
I mean,
Gives you, it changes the buff icon when you go in roller, and you can see
Yeah.
it says you're now perfectly balanced.
but the thing is,
I
like, I was
think-
trying to read it, but I didn't have time to read it. So I was like, I don't know what
Yeah.
to do, and I just kept fucking dying. And I was the
Oh,
healer.
no.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm so
Bec-
sorry. They carried
I
me
think
so
I was
hard.
able to. Well, I know that like sometimes you have to match colors and sometimes the opposite. I think I intuited just because like you had to find the balance and like this is like Sophia.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
it's
I hate the
just-
match mechanics. Just tell me if it's the same or otherwise.
Do you get like a constantly ticking full nut stack if you stay outside of the circles and how?
After the first couple seconds,
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah,
It'll
Oh,
I
eventually
thought
kill
so
you.
because I was outside for it. It was like three vol stacks. I've not been hit. What is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to do the whole fight while in. I mean, I like some of the mechanics, like purple and yellow out
Mm-hmm.
for whatever.
I mean,
it's very
that's-
simple, but
That's actually just a mechanic from the Fate Break. I think it's called the Fate Breaker, the third boss of Eden.
Yeah.
Of the third tier of Eden.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not a super like difficult fight.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not mechanically that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If you really, the first time it's fun to do, obviously, but if you think about
No, it's
normal
quite
mode for this, it's very simple.
It's ultimately quite uncomplicated once you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically just avoid AoE and go in, or stay out, stand on the opposite
Mhm.
color, and sometimes get hit inside or outside, like with a knockback.
Mm-hmm.
Not much else to it.
Yellow generally means get away. Purple generally means get closer.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
really thinking about it now. Actually, maybe this is the simplest and like compared.
I actually do
10
think this is the simplest fight. I think this is probably the coolest arena. For,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
they've saved
of-
it with the look
of
and
the
the
tier.
song.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that like really long raid wide in P10, by the way? That like just keeps going.
Oh, you mean like the healer check thing where he had the
Yeah.
arena?
Oh, it
That-
keeps
that
headbutting
was-
it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good one. That's
Yeah,
I
that
like that
was
in
fun.
Savage.
Sounds good.
That is cool. I've heard. I haven't personally died to this because I'm a healer and I know that to keep healing. But I have heard stories of healers that were unprepared for this,
yeah.
resulting in
Healers were like
Negative
spending
results.
I can
That's
see
all
that.
their shit on the earlier stuff, and they're like, well, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Left, so
It
they're
hurts
just
so
gonna
much.
die.
People were saying it hurts so much. Gosh,
Yeah.
It
it's
keeps
barely
going
denting,
though.
barely
Yeah.
denting
it does.
my
It,
100,000 health.
it hits longer. Hits for more times than you think.
Yes.
That's
At
what
this
I
point.
like mechanics like that.
And if you don't
It
have
feels
any-
like Akmorn,
if you
remember
have
that,
no-
the early Akmorns?
If you have no OGCDs ready at that point, you
Oh yeah, you
you're
got
in
to
trouble.
trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be fun. in
That's gonna.
Savage.
Yeah, I
But
was
11th
just thinking
one?
that. I dread that.
MS.
Yeah.
I am really looking forward to us getting to this in Savage because the third tiers have traditionally Phoenix and
Agdistus.
Tree
Yeah.
are very hard fights, very challenging, and have
Yeah.
taken us a long time.
Yeah.
This one, I just can't think what they'll do for Savage to make it, more than it is in normal. I'm intrigued, very intrigued.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
imagine it's one of those fights where it's a lot better in Savage.
You kind of feel that with all the fights now. You can sort of see where they're
Yeah.
holding back, and like
Yeah.
you could. This is supposed to go longer and all that, but yeah. All right, 11th, we finish him, and Themis is just released from the influence of Athena, and he's about to like
He's dying.
die right now. So,
Again,
but don't worry, we conveniently can just give him some more ether, so Themis
take,
can
take
stay
a little
little
sip,
longer.
baby boy.
Yeah.
Sup upon my
So
ether.
he drinks our ether.
I mean, the MSQ has set us up for this.
I
We've
know.
Done this to
I
zero.
know. It's just very convenient, is all I'm saying. So he can stay around for the whole story. So Themis, this is when we sort of it's dropped. If you haven't realized it already at this point in the story, Themis now says it outright. Claudian is most likely the reincarnation of Erichtonius's
Mhm.
soul.
Yeah.
Yes, he says this because he overheard when he was being created, or like after he'd been created, Athena referred to Claudian as Erichthonius.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Which makes sense why she's going, after him, and he's gone off and he's sort of in tune with her signature.
Yeah.
I'm
And he
surprised we
looks the
didn't
same.
like say this earlier because they look exactly the same.
Yeah, they kind of do. So, I mean, they do.
Oh, you like in game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how far?
Well, this is the first time Erichthonius has been sort of has the potential to see Claudian, though, isn't it, on the source? So
Yes.
maybe when we travel, we're just not thinking about it. We're like, you look a little bit
No,
familiar.
no, I mean
No, that-
like
Wait,
us.
you're talking
We're the
about
only-
like
yeah.
our character is the only one that's been able to see both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's strange that it's whatever. So he tells us that now, and then La Brea has hatched a plan. He thinks he knows how to defeat Athena now. He doesn't tell us yet, I guess. He
Is
No,
keeping
he-
it close to his chest.
yeah,
Well, he shares it with Eric Thanios, but like he's like, we don't need to know it.
right.
Just trust me.
Because first we need
Trust
to
me,
beat
bro.
Athena the hell up. So
Mhm.
we go to see her in the 12th circle,
Mhm.
Final circle of hell.
the final circle of hell, and this is this fight has a lot going on in it for a normal mode.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
This
The
is
music is
the
amazing.
Oh, the music is great.
coolest
back to that
model
dance
of the
stuff.
whole tear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Big moth woman.
I really like. So before we move on to the actual fight, I really like the music, but I also really like the intro, and the intro does not match the rest of the song, and I was a little bit disappointed that it changed.
Mm.
I see.
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
fine.
So yeah, she's a moth lady.
kind of almost
Some peop-
Genova-esque.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen some people say they were disappointed with what her transformation looked like, and I don't really get that.
I think she looks amazing.
I mean, I won't say it here, but I've seen what the transformation is in Savage.
Mm.
And again, I think we were robbed. Just straight up.
We
Yes.
always are. We
Yes.
always are.
It has something in there that I think is pretty important to have
Yeah.
in the story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, it's just not as
I
bad
don't
as
think
Eden. I think
No,
Eden
I
was
don't-
terrible.
Mhm.
I agree with you on Eden. I don't think it's as important because they do talk about it after the story.
They do,
Eden's was
but yeah.
well. It's usually a sort of what if scenario with the Savage one, and that's
But
Yeah.
it feels like it shouldn't have been a what if, though, is
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
see
But it-
Rollo's point a little
I
bit.
don't think they need to be connected. I think we're trying to make everything more connected than it has to be. I
Mm.
like that the Savage version of the fight is more of a what if scenario
Mm.
as
Yeah.
opposed to the one with Eden where it's like this should have actually been part of the fight.
Eden's one
Like,
was
Eden
just
is
egregious.
Yes.
it's
Mm.
ruined. Like that last
Yeah.
fight sucks.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
have it.
I
agree.
agree. This fight has some very interesting mechanics. It has a few very simple ones. A left right left or a left left right with her wings. It's not very high. You stand on the right side.
Mhm.
It's got a few other very simple stuff, but then it has some very cool things, some very Byragot things. Chunks of the arena fall away,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and mimics. The cute mimic
favorite-
things are really weird.
My favorite part about that is that it gives you a debuff that prevents you from jumping. So
Yeah,
if you can't jump across any of the gaps, and also so you don't think
Really?
you can't jump out of it just as it falls.
it's very
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
I didn't
Um,
realize they gave you a debuff. I
Yeah,
didn't know
it's
Yeah.
only a short-lived debuff for when she's casting. that thing
Tanika's
where it makes
revenge.
As soon as she uses on the soul and the hell arena comes back, the debuff disappears.
Yeah,
Right.
and it makes you go onto this 1x2 platform, and she does the left right. It has a few cool additions. This is going to be a very very hard fight for our group at least, and for the average lower end Savage player probably. I mean, obviously
So
the
our
world's
group.
best players, but for our
Well,
group,
I mean,
I
you'll have
think this
more
was gonna be
chance as you get more geared up.
there's a
Yeah.
lot
Well,
to
we'll
it.
have
Even
we'll have
in normal.
significantly more time as well because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have until the release of the next expansion.
Yes.
Yeah. But is there any other notable mechanics?
No, it really
No.
is just kind of the wings, the base, and
She has a
the
thing where two
tiles.
people get tethered and have to point it away from the group. It's not that complicated.
The
Right.
donuts too. You have
The
Oh,
donut-
the donuts is cool.
Yeah.
The donuts and
Yeah, the
balls.
chains.
There's some where they have different lengths of chains. You have to do them in the correct order. I
Yeah.
assume that will be a lot more enjoyable in Savage and more sort of funny,
Yeah.
panic-inducing.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly everything she has. Too,
Yeah.
just
I think so.
But it feels like they go at a good. Oh, right, and the Seraph ads are in there too.
Oh yeah, it has
Yeah.
that.
Oh
Nice.
yeah.
It's
From
a brick ad face where you're in a tiny section, and that's
Yeah.
actually quite hard.
Yeah.
ads from Seraph and Ivelisse are there, which is cool. Which
Yeah.
makes
Yes. Yeah.
connection
It
a
just
lot
gets
more.
it gets very busy at that point in the fight. I will
Yeah.
say, like, the arena itself is cool in how it's utilized. The actual whole location is a little bit like unexciting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
the background's not super great.
No.
Like she's cool. The arena doesn't looking very impressive until it's like tries to eat you.
Right.
But the background, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the last tier, and with how good they've been,
Yeah.
this expansion, yeah, maybe a little bit more in the background. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe the Savage phase transition's like super cool and amazing. And
Okay. So we kill. Well, we
don't kill her.
defeat Athena, I should say.
Yeah, you get a little white woman jump scare.
Yes.
I don't
Oh god, yeah,
remember
she
like
does
that.
her crazy.
oh, she does the crazy.
She goes.
dance.
Yeah. Very.
I
Crazy.
hate that thing you posted, Georgi, about that face. I want to kill myself.
It is a very
Which one was that
in
again?
Minecraft. Yeah.
You know,
Uh,
I know it.
she
You know,
she has
Oh,
it's the close up and she does the scary face and she's being a complete I mean mom of the year, honestly.
Oh yeah.
So
you have mommy issues.
Uh,
I hope
she essentially says that he was a tool, that she had like that was his only purpose. That's why she got him in the first place.
I love how unapologetically like evil she is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Just
the
well
one part
designed.
Yeah.
where Eric Thanos is like, "Did you like ever love me, even like a little bit?" And he's like, "You're a disappointment."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit, that's
Yeah.
harsh."
I don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't want these characters like, let's say, like Yotsuyu, who becomes meek and changes character, or these people who are like a bit evil but they love their country or whatever. We just got just a straight up psycho woman who
Yeah.
No,
doesn't
you
care.
say that, but I have seen like a non-insignificant number of people that have complained that like they found her motives to be uninteresting. So I think
Really?
while some people like it, like us, I think there are. I understand why most of the villains in this game aren't like her.
I mean, we
Yeah.
don't want a one-dimensional like expansion.
I mean,
baddie. We want
we had a
complexity
very-
there, but
We had a very evil person in the last expansion, and I would say he was less likable in Valens.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, if
Yeah.
anything, I think this raid really makes La Brea way more complex of a character
Mhm.
Yes.
than
Oh, yeah.
before.
I mean, they did that with all three of the Sunderdacians, which is amazing.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
had
and
to, 'cause
some Dacians,
yeah.
they really were just like, we're evil in a Realm Reborn.
Yeah. And that was the whole goal with this raid series specifically, was for us to learn more about La Brea. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, Athena, of course, now completely bonkers. She's trying to destroy the ethereal sea, which is a big
She's like,
Good
if I can't-
problem.
Yeah, she's like, if I can't
Yeah.
be the god of this world, no one can be.
Right.
You know, I respect the pettiness.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Right.
like, yeah, like I'm dying. I might as well kill
Yeah. I'll take everyone with me.
essentially, or whatever.
Yeah. And then Eric Tonios is like, okay, well, fuck you, and he essentially he
He
purges
runs into
her. Yeah,
it's so funny.
Claudian is returned by he awakens his memories essentially, and that purges Athena out of him. That causes Pandæmonium to collapse, so we have to run out of there. We leave Athena and Erichthonios behind. He will deal with that.
Well,
No.
Athena's last words were like, you were useless to the last.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what she says at the end.
I really like their final exchange. That like even at the end, she's completely unrepentant.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I just think that's
full
again,
on crazy.
respect.
Yes.
For the writers in this case, I'm saying
They
to
didn't for
let her
once
be like that.
For once they didn't give her like a redemption at the end.
We
she
don't
was
need that.
just evil till the end. Good.
Yeah.
So
Be convicted in your aims, you know.
right.
You go, girl.
Girl boss.
A girl
Yeah.
boss, girl boss
Gatekeep.
moment.
That reminds me.
Gaslight your son.
No, exactly. That reminds me of a YouTube comment that I saw on like one of the videos that has the music for this fight, and it was like she gaslit girl boss, gatekeep too close to the sun.
Yeah. All right. So Claudian is recovering, so he's resting. La Habrea then asks, or he asks us a lot of questions about this Asian that has been hearing about. And then he's like, I think you get he asks you straight up, like,
Yeah.
is that Asian me? Is and then you can be, I don't think you can avoid it.
You
Can
can
you?
lie.
You can.
Tell him the truth, and or you can say nothing.
Okay.
You can say I'm
It's
not sure.
No, the middle one isn't lying. It's just saying you're not sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't be
But he
100%
figures it out
certain.
either way, right? I think
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
always
he
leads
will.
to
He will
something.
ultimately figure it out. Yeah, in his conversation with Claudian, he straight
Right.
up admits that he knows he was that La Habrea.
Yes. And then he essentially like he can see how it like happened. Even though it's rough to learn that you're essentially the big baddie in the future. But yeah. Claudian Claudian comes back to tell La Habrea that his son did respect him. But because now Claudian is kind of
Eric Thonios's memories.
yeah. So there's like this weird thing going on right now, and then La Habrea is like, "You're not my son.
That's not you, man. I don't know you.
You are someone else. You are someone else entirely."
I think he says too. Eventually, those memories will fade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So what are we? Where are we now? So after that. So we resolve that with Claudian and La Habrea. You're not my son. Bye. And then it's time for them to disappear. So La Habrea fades away, and he says that further answers may be found in the Ancients' Pandæmonium. So that's an interesting thing for him to say. So we, of course, plan to do that.
Themis and Claudian stick around. Themis says that like I should probably move on too, but first I want to hear what you discover when you go back into the past.
Yeah.
Yes. So we go
He's
back.
like, don't say anything about the future too, even if you want to, which you shouldn't want to, because that would, if you did anything, it would mean you wouldn't exist.
Yes. Right.
No matter how much you want to like them, like, come on.
Yeah. We go back to the Pandæmonium of yore, and you can actually talk to Hegemony on your way
there's
in.
people here.
There are people
There's
there.
People wandering around.
Yeah.
It is a facility.
Yes.
But it
That is not
feel
shocking,
like
Mela.
2 patches ago.
Yeah, but yeah. So we meet Eric Thonios, La Habrea, and Themis. And then La Habrea's like, there's something we need to sort out. Yes.
How fortuitous that you arrived here to see this.
Yeah. It turns out that Hegemony was the one who freed Hephaestus. And it was a part of
Hegemony.
Athena's plan. So she is being controlled by Athena.
Yeah. In the same way that Athena manipulated Agdistus and what's his name? The other one, the final boss of the first tier.
Oh,
The vampire man.
Hephaestus.
No,
is-
that's
no,
not
no.
Hephaestus.
That's-
Hephaestus.
hepatitis.
Vampire man. Hepatitis.
Oh my God.
What? Was he a vampire? Or
His
was that,
name
like,
is
his
completely
Asian form?
Hesperos.
Shit.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
sounds
so Athena was like, for
fucked
them,
up.
he was like, you're dedicated to La Habrea, let me use these. And then for Hegemony, she's like, you love me, let me use this.
Yeah. So yeah, La Habrea. he does the thing with the mask, and then it becomes
God,
one.
yes.
Because he
So-
was only half of himself, but now he
is
self.
whole,
Wow.
and he burns the witch.
Yes,
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah, give her a nice sear, and so that she'll
I feel
learn.
like that's like they have government and laws,
Yeah,
and yet you can
He
still
is
just go.
Pandemonium.
yeah.
Rollo,
go
he is the
to-
government.
He is
Yeah.
the government.
He
I mean, you can go up
Rollo,
to your
he is the-
subordinate.
If you
Well, he's
don't
the
like the way
government
they
and-
work, Rollo, then try and be the change you want.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Well, no. Not only that is he the government, but also the Themis, the government cop,
Yeah.
I guess, is there
Yeah.
too. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
Turning
He is
a
the
blind
government,
eye.
and Themis is the checks and balances, and the checks and balances say this is
They
okay.
gave a thumbs
Yeah,
up.
it's fine.
levitate her, slightly strangle or fucking.
This
burn
is
her
in
just
line
a
with
little
our
bit.
constitution.
Just burn her a bit.
We burn her a
Street
little
justice.
bit, but don't kill her. So yeah, she recovers from that, and then she's like, "Oh my god,
Too quickly.
I was controlled, and that was horrible." And he's like, "Yeah, well, I burned you, didn't I?" And she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you sure did."
And then he makes her the chief keyword of
Yeah.
Pandemonium.
Yeah,
You're
see?
promoted. Congratulations. Oh,
And
Very
that's
manipulative.
Just
isn't
don't
it?
cross me again.
yeah.
Themis comes in right after. He's like, "Yeah, approved, certified,
Yeah,
good moment, like,
stamped.
I love
Yeah.
that."
Very
Based.
good.
All right. So we go back.
Good for job. But you can have it now, but
So we have everything we need now. We've seen it all.
And sadly, this is the last time we'll ever see Eric Thanios alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
That is true.
Yeah.
You didn't like
Okay.
him?
You didn't like Eric
Aristoteles
Tonios?
was fine. I liked it.
Yeah. So we return to our time, and Claudian says that there's a final memory that has appeared in the crystal, and it shows Eric. It shows when Eric decides to place his and La Habrea's memories in the crystal, and hopes that any survivors will be able to deal with Pandemonium in the future. And he says the thing that we heard. When did we hear it?
We heard it at the start of the raid series.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
the very beginning
If
of the
yeah,
raid.
like if someone come and help, if you can hear this.
Yes.
Pandemonium,
Come
blah,
to
blah, blah.
Pandemonium.
Yes.
This was a really nice scene. Him talking about the fears he held at the in the final days. He had said how his dad had gone to help summon Zodiac, and how he had to stay behind, and he's in charge of.
Themis had already gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Themis
And,
had
like,
become
he's
the
had-
heart of Zodiac at this point.
Yeah.
And he had he doubted himself whether he would truly be able to keep Pandemonium check. Blah blah blah. It's like it was very. There's a very human.
It's very
Power-
human and very
power
sad
graph.
because ultimately he doesn't succeed, at least
No.
at this time.
Exactly.
No.
But I really liked the way they presented that because they were just people, and when we look at them, they're more than people
They're
because
like
of
gods,
their power and
essentially.
yeah,
Yeah.
But they were just people, and
Yeah.
that was a really good moment.
Yeah.
He'll always be there to protect Pandemonium.
Yeah.
Mm.
Protect people from Pandemonium.
Yes.
But wait, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Why did they build this in their underworld, which is the live stream, I guess? They
Yeah,
say that
yeah.
here too? They
Well,
call it
Yeah,
underworld.
the underworld.
live
The underworld is what we call the ethereal sea. They're the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
stream. Which is I thought was interesting too. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They
Um,
needed like
Is it built
Somewhere
in the
away
ethereal
from-
sea?
What? What are you
Was
saying?
it
It's-
Is the original built in the ethereal sea?
Pandemonium.
I
Yeah.
think so. It's in their underworld.
Yeah, it's in. They call it the
'Cause you have
underworld.
to- it's
so-
like
Oh yeah, they do
underworld-
say that.
Yeah.
yeah.
They do. Sorry, I think because I never connected that because they never brought up the connection between the underworld and the
Oh.
ethereal sea
Yeah.
before this match.
Right.
Why would you still keep the horrible beasts during like the bad times? Like I feel like at that point, like okay, maybe we should just like
Well, no,
close this
because
place
remember,
down.
remember La Habrea Ultimate,
Uh,
who was it that theorizes? I think
think
Claudian says here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Claudian ultimately theorizes that the reason that La Habrea built Pandemonium wasn't as a prison for like dangerous experiments, but it was to keep Athena locked away
because
essentially
she
without
was too
killing her.
dangerous. Yeah,
Man cave
Yeah.
for my wife.
essentially. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You do freak experiments.
I mean, you wouldn't want to
And
break
you see
now.
what happened when she broke out. So he has a valid reason
Yeah.
to keep her locked up, and also because
It's like a really horrible Taj Mahal.
yeah, he didn't want to kill her because So
Love
That
is
was
love.
a, that
Love
was
is
a
love.
beautiful mausoleum for a dead wife, whereas this is a horrendous prison for a living one.
right. Well, I
Mhm.
mean, essentially, he built it to close to lock her up, but it
Yeah.
was also used to benefit the rest of society
The
with
res-
all the
yeah.
research stuff that was
Yes.
going on in there.
It'll-
So
We didn't mention it. It also makes sense that the La Habrea we know is what he is because of the fact that we saw La Habrea become one again, as opposed to the nicer version of La Habrea that we'd been working with for most of the time in the past.
right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sure, the heart of Sabik didn't help either.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
no, that probably
we should wrap up the story
exacerbated it.
before we move on, because speaking of the heart of Sabik, Claudian still has the heart of Sabik at this point. It doesn't hold Athena's memories anymore, but he plans to research it further.
Bad idea.
Only him,
Bad-
so
bad.
he will keep that, and then he just leaves with it.
Hey, he didn't say he'd have it on him at all times.
Yeah,
No,
but it'll
Maybe
always be
he'll
in his
keep-
mind.
but this is potentially
keep
a
it- maybe he'll-
super dangerous object. So
Maybe
can
he'll
borrow
keep
the
it locked
speaker's
away.
vault.
Do you know the safest place for something like this? The ravines of Kurthus.
yeah.
But the issue is, like, do we even know if you can destroy Orosite?
No, I don't.
From what we've seen, it doesn't seem like you can.
No.
Even the old one. No.
No, wait, we did break.
Remember when Thancred or something shattered one and all the pieces went into someone?
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean it's broken.
It doesn't mean no, that's true. But we can break them
No.
into pieces. But maybe each piece is
the
weaker than the
pieces
whole.
are still there, though.
So if we broke it up, maybe each piece wouldn't be correct.
I mean, the
I don't
worst
know.
thing about that would be if every shard of it is as powerful.
Yeah,
Oh, God, that'd
now
be
you have
horrendous.
thousands of shards of the heart of Sabik everywhere. That's
We could
horrible.
sell them as necklaces and then take over the world.
Yes. So yeah, he goes off, and Themis then has his final words with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chad is correct. That is white Orosite, which is artificial.
That's true. But we don't know enough
Oh yeah,
about
that's true. Yeah.
the colours of Orosite, I don't think. Like, why is this one black?
Well,
Because it's space.
hopefully
We'll
we'll
talk
learn
about
more
that. Yeah.
later. Yes. So
Yeah,
Themis talks to us.
So
Yeah.
we just let Claudian walk off with the
Yeah.
Sure, well, we... Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Not
dude.
gonna come back to bite.
If you
us,
read in the
I'm
journal,
sorry.
it even says this might be a bad idea, but we've got other things to worry about at the moment.
Do we?
Do we?
No.
I mean,
Yes.
I feel like I mean, sure, it's a good like because it keeps us now speculating about what could potentially happen because he just wandered off with one of the most dangerous objects on the planet.
That corrupts you.
Yes.
By just having it.
Yes.
I'm saying this right now, that if Claudian or someone related to him doesn't become the next big baddie, I'll be very sad because it makes sense.
It make
The
well it
next big
well
baddie.
if they
Or
ever
a big baddie in the future.
the Heart of Sabik is interesting because it is both now a side story item, but it's also an MSQ item. Like
And
it's
an
been
MSQ
mentioned
item.
in the MSQ, so they can bring it into the story. So, but it might not be Claudian because maybe Claudian just like puts it in a safe or something, and then someone else breaks in and takes it, and that's how they can introduce
That's
it in
true.
the MSQ with a
Like,
new
yeah,
character.
like the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
I hope they at least tell Fortunal or something. Like, hey, we have the heart of Sabik here.
Yeah,
You have like a
someone
super
needs to
special.
know.
them.
Let the
Safe.
authorities know that we
No,
have
the
this.
less people who know, the better.
Can you make like a big vault or something?
Yeah,
for-
we need to lock this thing up. Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah. So Themis says his goodbyes with us. He reveals that his
In a
friend.
voice scene.
Yeah.
Yes, that's important.
dude, it's me, Themis. Hey,
No,
hey,
he
what's
sounds
going on?
like Patrick Stewart. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
Yeah, he does a
he's
bit,
got a
yeah.
little bit of a Patrick Stewart to him. Yeah, it's voiced.
Breaking's number one.
Which again, it's so sad that such a good story as this isn't fully voiced. But I am so
I
glad we
agree with
actually
that.
did get this though.
Yeah.
He says that his fractured memories may have been what compelled him to send us back to Elpis, of all places. in the past.
Yeah, because like he might have forgotten many other things, but like there was probably a part of him that was compelled that like I need you to be in Elpis for some reason, which is
Yes.
fair because when we first arrived in Elpis, sorry, Emmett Selk was even like, why would they send you here rather
Yeah.
than like my house
Right.
in Amarot?
Yes.
It's nice to
My
get a wrap up
apartment,
of why we ended
my
up
loft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I know it's side content, but
yeah.
it's good. It's a nice
It wrapped
wrap
up some stuff there, which was very nice. And then he dissipates, and we get to see him sort of fade away in the ethereal sea. He sees this light.
He's still in there somewhere.
Well, now he's
No, I think he's moved on.
Yeah.
I think that's what when they start to see the light in the ethereal sea, like we saw with Emmett Selk and Hythlodaeus, that's when like their souls move on. So there's going to be there's going to be a particularly thick soul out there somewhere.
Yeah.
All of them.
yeah.
You get to see the little underwater scene.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in Kingdom Hearts or something. Oh.
So
It's
that's
called the ethereal sea, Mela.
yeah, it is called the
I
ethereal
know.
sea, and that's probably why.
Yeah, he even says like, "Oh, it's a cool name for it. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It's better than fucking the underworld."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah.
Yeah, when you die, you go to the underworld.
Yeah. And then Claudian, if you talk to Claudian after the quest, he actually has some very important information to say. He talks about Ultima, the High Seraph, specifically. And he theorizes that she's most likely not from here. When Athena
More
found the heart of Sabik.
aliens.
So, yeah.
Brea even says that, like
Yeah.
we don't know when Athena first made contact with Ultima / found the heart of Sabik, but we theorize it's not from our planet.
Yeah.
How many aliens is that? We got
All the dragons.
Well, I guess it's just dragons now.
It's
At
just
least
dragons.
officially on Theros.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah.
So we got Alien Rock now.
Yeah.
Well, where did Ultima the High Seraph come from and at what
That's a mystery in Evil Is, isn't it?
That's a mystery.
Yeah.
point? Yeah, because like you have to also tie it into the dragon's arrival, but then also
Well, no,
Meteon
right before
going out
dragons.
and ruining every single planet in the universe. With
Well, no, this happened before that though.
Yeah.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So it's
there's-
been on the
So
planet for a long time.
Ultima, the High Seraph, was in Evilis in that raid, or in that area at least, for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's
Well,
more likely
yeah.
someone was corrupted into the High Seraph.
As in, they were
Well, we know
malformed
that-
into her shape.
Yeah.
Well, we know Orosite can have the memories of people.
Yeah.
It's possible that there was a piece of Orosite that had the Seraph's memories, and they used that to overtake someone, as Rollo said.
Yeah.
So the rock fell from space and corrupted someone into the High Seraph.
The High
Man,
Seraph.
space is terrifying in this world, huh?
The
Yeah.
High Seraph was
I mean,
summoned.
space is terrifying in our world.
They don't got fucking angel demons out there that send corrupting rock
not the-
to us.
Not that
We
we
do
know
if you
of.
believe in them.
I think it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is the story. It leaves a lot of I mean, I am just happy that Evilise
Yeah.
is being brought back into
And Sabik.
and Sabik, the heart of Sabik.
We've wanted this knowledge
mean,
since
the
around
most-
Reborn.
Yeah.
The most terrifying thing will be if we discover there's a body of Sabik.
Or
Mm,
the toe of
that's
Sabik.
scary. I don't want to see if that's the heart of Sabik. I don't want to know what happens if you put the heart into
you know
into the
what?
body.
That's not a bad shout. As the Highland Zodiac arc, some just cosmic horror called Sabik
Yeah.
in for like the next 10. Do you know what?
That's what's under Silvertier. It's
I
Sabik.
think
The
that's
body
not
of
a bad
Sabik?
shout.
The body
No,
of
just-
Sabik.
It's where they
It might
buried
not be
him.
within Hydaelyn. It might be out there in space somewhere.
Mm.
But
And
Yeah.
like, I know we talked about how the MSQ was disappointing last week, and
Yes.
but that was written by the same person that did Pandemonium.
So there is hope.
So that is a good sign,
Yes.
potentially, for the future of the MSQ.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I will say they also did write some doo-doo ass stuff though, like the what's it called? The Dancer quest line? Fucking hated that.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That
don't
was
know.
so,
also-
that was so
they also-
ass.
Yeah.
They also wrote Guidalo and Sanson's Gay Adventures of
They
the 50 to
did.
60 Bard quest line.
Th-
So
They're
right.
They
a
have some
very
taste.
hit or miss kind of
Yes.
writer, I think.
Yeah.
If they're passionate about the topic, Pandæmonium and Gay Adventures, then it's high quality. If they're not very invested, emotionless voice.
I mean,
and...
sadly, it's very possible that like they were essentially like asked that like this is the Final Fantasy IV tie-in expansion. You have to do stuff related to that. So like maybe that might be the issue with it. I mean, that's not necessarily a defense, but it could explain it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did he write? He wrote
Yeah, there was a whole page of what he wrote in a live letter previously.
House of the Dead.
Is Palace of the Dead?
wrote
I mean, that's
Palace
Oh, I
fine.
thought you said House of the Dead.
House of the Dead overkill. Get it?
Yeah.
Take a drink.
I mean-
test.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Pandemonium as a whole storyline?
I think it's very, very, very up there. I think it's the best Raid series storyline. I'm happy to say that.
I think this is by far the most consistent Raid storyline.
It's very consistent.
I think every patch was pretty good.
All the characters are enjoyable. Whereas for some, it was only some. So Omega, the only characters I liked were Nero and Sid, and the Ironwood stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the actual storyline with Omega that much. Eden, all the most god awful characters in the whole game were present in that one.
That's a melee. I think Eden.
That is a melee take.
Alexander was a good storyline once you'd finished the whole thing. But
Those
the
fights
characters
suck,
weren't
though.
that good, and the fights weren't all good. Some
They
were good.
were. It took them
Coil
a
was very
while to
good.
get
It took them
good.
a while.
Coil.
And Coil continues to be very good, but I will say that
Yeah,
like,
I know, Lugia. Coil's an outlier.
the first part of Coil is very like non-explanatory, other than like the reveal at the end that Bahamut's in it.
Yeah.
Coil does also have a large number of quite low quality tiers if you really go back on them. Like the end ones were brilliant.
They
But
were
one of
still
them's
figuring it out.
Trash
Yeah.
on the lift for 10 minutes. So
I mean, that's an iconic
but that's not the fight.
though. That's like it's an
but it is a
interesting-
fight.
Yeah. No, that is the fight. That's the whole fight. You're on this
Oh yeah,
elevator.
so yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking about the
Turn
fourth
4.
floor. Sorry.
Yeah. It's a good
mean,
concept, but it's not.
They tried to do something similar with Turn 2. I think
Yeah.
Turn 2 was when they realized that this is a bad concept for a fight.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
The
would.
last
Jump
tier's brilliant.
puzzle. What the fuck was that? What were they smoking?
Oh god, yeah, all the
Yeah.
platforms where you had to go between them and
Turn 3 was a mistake, and that's I think they.
That's
I mean,
why
they
there's
understood.
never been 5 turns in a
Ye-
tier again.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, I'm confident to say this is in all aspects. as an
Did
overall
you?
package,
What did you
my
say about
favourite.
Alex Mello? Did you like
Alex?
the Alex
I
story?
think the storyline is really good.
Yeah.
Once you've done the whole thing, because it's like a time loop that
Yeah.
wraps up, and like when you see yourself doing the cutscene in the fight
Mm-hmm.
in A12, brilliant.
Yeah.
But only the last tier was consistently good.
Yeah.
Middle tier had some.
Oh
good
yeah, the
fights,
fights
some bad
are
fights.
Gordius
infamously
was-
bad in the
I
first.
only had
Yes.
like one potentially good fight, and that was only good because it was a raid killer and it was funny.
Yeah.
But,
Well. That was like a
Um,
moment of crisis in the raid community.
Yeah.
That fight, but
How would you rank them now with all the 8-man raids?
In terms of
This-
From
what
best
what
to
am I
worst.
oh, that's
This,
and, like,
Alex,
what
that's a
am I-
lot. Let's just make.
story like battles? What
Just
what do you want
everything.
me to rank it?
just an overall.
Oh.
What you think? Okay. This, then Alex. A lot of that's nostalgia, so I understand if you don't agree with it. Then Omega, Eden. No, Omega. Omega Coil Eden.
Okay.
You really didn't like.
I mean,
Eden
I
Wild.
can't-
Okay.
No, but I like the
I find
fights
it-
in Eden, but I
Okay.
just I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah.
pick them because
It's very hard for me to properly rank Coil. So probably won't include that. I would say this is I agree with Melo. I think this is the best one. Then I would
Oh, yeah.
probably go Alex, Eden, and then no, it's not Alex. No, this, then Omega, then Eden, then Alex.
That's fair.
I think I'd go this Pandemonium, I'll go with Eden, and then I'd put maybe Omega and Alex in the same tier. And I put
Okay.
Coil because I just I
Mhm.
don't like doing Coil. It's such a negative memory for me. The
Aw.
story's cool, but like it's just not a good experience.
God, it would be this Coil, Alex, Omega, Eden. What's left?
That's fine. Yeah,
That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
the
those
issue
are
with
the
Coil
ones.
is that because there's no normal version, and because it was the first, and because it
It did get a savage
was no
mode for
fun
the
in
second
voice.
one, though.
Yeah,
Only the second
but the
one.
Savage mode was like obscene because the
It
normal
was.
mode was so hard already.
That's
like,
true.
The normal mode
That
was
is
savage
true.
content, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I just
I don't
that's
know.
to me the story there. I mean, it's really
It's so important.
it's
That's
so
the
annoying
trouble.
that it's stuck behind those fights, that story. But
Yeah.
You can't beat like the last 2 or 3 fights. I mean, like Coil's last 2 or 3 fights are very high.
I mean,
quality.
T9 is like one of the most legendary fights
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
game.
And the music in them. Like, if we could do Ultimate Coil of Back on Musty now, that would be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Everything about that fight's good.
I mean,
Raid
I'm also
team,
thinking-
get ready.
I'm also thinking about all the fights for Pandemonium. I think the only fights that I don't like getting in the normal raid roulette are Phoenix, Phoenix, Hippocampus, and sometimes Hephaestus. Those are the only ones that I don't like doing as part of a party finder group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we need to wrap up. We can't just sit here and keep ranking and things. But yeah, there you go. Good scores.
Great tier.
Great
Good.
tier.
Great tier.
I liked the characters, and I was sad for them, but also
Mhm.
happy for them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, why did they drop her as a minion? I don't want her as a minion. I don't want Athena as a minion.
Crazy Lady Minion.
That's
I
alright.
like that-
I've got her as
I
a
like
minion
that
now.
La Habrea was never truly he's not really redeemed the modern La Habrea in the same way that you
Right.
could argue that Themis and Emmett Silk were.
No,
That's true.
but you understand it a little. I don't
You
know.
understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to give everyone a full redemption. I think that's okay. But
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you put
We
the
had
scary
nice final
white
Yeah,
lady
sorry.
jump scare as the thumbnail?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Of course
I
you
mean,
will.
Yeah.
because we had nice final moments with both Emmett Silk and Themis.
We
La Habrea
did,
didn't get
yeah.
any of that.
Right. Right.
No, La Habrea needed
The
a
last
lot.
time we talked to La Habrea isn't him; it's a memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's our I guess review of Pandemonium. That's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next week with the third part of our spoiler review. That's going to be everything that's left, including Tatara's Grand Endeavor. So make sure you catch that. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidelin, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, !Discord and chat if you want to join our Discord server. If you're watching on demand, links in the description. Remember to send us mogmail, speakersXIV.com/mogmail. All right, we'll see you if you're watching live in the post show. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.